Buffalo Bills, Ed Oliver is clearly back, proving that he is an elite defensive tackle. Look at Ed Oliver here in the get-off, the one-on-one over the center, and complete pancake in pursuit to Jared Goff, just collapsing the pocket here on him. Other manhandling of an offensive lineman here. I mean, I don't think Ed Oliver has fallen off, taken a step back in any way. We could see Ed Oliver's next-gen stats versus the Lions. He had 10 pressures on 42 rushes against them, the most pressures in a game by a defensive tackle this season. Oliver had a majority of his pressures, 7 of 10, come against the Lions' left guard, Graham Glasgow. Even Sean McDermott had some thoughts and after the game here of Ed Oliver, and I just think that he did absolutely well. Sean McDermott said, I thought he played a heck of a game. It doesn't take a trained eye to see that. That's what he's capable of, and that's what we need more of, quite honestly. So I think a lot of people kind of bickering about Ed Oliver, bickering about the interior of this defensive line, thinking that, they should be producing a little bit more. And sure enough, Ed Oliver comes out and has a Pro Bowl type day against the Lions. And the stat by the Buffalo Bills clearly shows you Ed Oliver generated a season-high 10 pressures, 42 passes against the Lions, the most pressures in a game by a defensive tackle in a single season. I mean, that is absolutely remarkable. I mean, clearly the best performance of any defensive tackle in the NFL so far in 2024, and quite honestly, potentially ever so far in 2024. Sean McDermott said that if you want to continue to piss him off, Ed Oliver off during the week, have at it. So I think this really, really shows you that Ed Oliver heard the bickering, heard what was going on about Bills fans saying that he fell off and that he got paid. And again, in my previous videos, we discussed it. Ed Oliver has had a 10% less snap count so far in 2024. And I think some other differences that we've seen in the video we discussed between Bobby Babich and Sean McDermott. Bobby Babbitt's blitzing the least of any defense in the NFL compared to Sean McDermott, who was blitzing the most, thus creating synthetic pressures, maybe more quarterbacks escaping the pocket and padding the stats of all of our defensive line players last year. And I think we saw that versus the Lions. I don't know, no one's talking about this, but I feel like a lot of people didn't see that Sean McDermott was very hands-on with the defense versus the Lions, and I think he had a lot to do with the play calling versus the Lions and chiming in. I mean, back-to-back weeks, giving up 40 points. I think the Buffalo Bills need to start making some changes there. So when you take into account the added blitzes and the added pressures versus the Lions, Sean McDermott getting a little bit more involved, I think Ed Oliver clearly pops off and has a great day. So Ed Oliver ranked 11 in pressure rate for defensive tackles with 300-plus rush snaps at 9.3%. So I think Ed Oliver is just a machine. He's a machine. He's one of my favorite players, if not favorite player on this team. Just reflecting back to Ed Oliver and the contract and everyone putting so much on Ed Oliver's shoulders and the expectation of things. But Marshall Darius back in the day signed a 6-year, $96 million contract with the Buffalo Bills, including a $25 million signing bonus. 60 guaranteed and an average salary of $16 million. I mean, I would much rather have Ed Oliver on this. So sure enough, Ed Oliver hears everyone talking about not playing up to expectations and everyone saying, okay, he should have more sacks and more stats. But, this really shows you what this Buffalo Bills team is really all about. And I think going back to the difference between Sean McDermott and Bobby Babich, I think we've had less synthetic pressures, meaning like we've been really rushing with only 4 defensive linemen all year long. Bobby Babich almost seems to refuse the blitz. But this past week versus the Lions, it seemed to me that Sean McDermott was much more hands-on, communicating a lot on the sidelines with our defense. And I think he may have been calling some plays sporadically in there or, giving some sort of advice during the game. And I think we saw an uptick in blitzes versus the Lions. And sure enough, that directly correlates with Ed Oliver having the best performance of any defensive tackle in the NFL. And we see it. Ed Oliver getting his one-on-ones. What happens when Ed Oliver is one-on-one and what he's capable of? I mean, he ragdoll throws these offensive linemen out of the way and individually making game-changing plays for the Buffalo Bills. So for whatever reason, Ed Oliver was the highest draft pick of really any Buffalo Bill that's come here. And, I think some people put such a high expectation on him to perform, and he still performs. Statistically, I think there's lulls, and maybe he plateaus at certain points, but all it takes is one play, one game-changing play per week, and you're really helping this team out. Whether that's a turnover or a stop on third down, fourth down, a change of downs. Ed Oliver is fully capable of wrecking a game and wrecking a defense and going against the number one scoring offense in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills, and Ed Oliver really needed to step up, and he stepped up at the right time for Bills Mafia. You look at Jordan Phillips, Daquan Jones, some other guys on the interior. I would really want more production out of these defensive ends like Von Miller, like Greg Rousseau, AJ Epinesa. I'm really rooting for them to really step things up. But keep in mind, too, that the Buffalo Bills didn't have Rasul Douglas. We didn't have Taylor Rapp. We had Cole Bishop, Kaiir Elam out there for Bills Mafia. So those are definitely upgrades for the Buffalo Bills once they come back. Matt Milano still working his way back, I would say. I think Matt Milano is definitely just game experience, awareness, and everything. Definitely better than Dorian Williams, but I think Matt Milano's still working his way back, and he's gonna get going. I mean, he missed a year of football, and I think Matt Milano is definitely. I mean, he's hitting hard. But I definitely appreciate you guys all so much. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like, subscribe for future content. Check the link down below to the BNC chicken wing merch. Someone spent $70 on the site yesterday. They got blue 2XL hoodies. So make sure you check that out. We have blue, gray, black, red t-shirts, long sleeves, hoodies. There's a new square Zumba style one too that you guys can get. It's all high quality materials. Over 50 reviews, all 5-star reviews, free shipping too. So check that out. Also, BNC, SeatGeek.com. You guys could use BNC. That's concerts, that's NFL games, hockey games, whatever sort of event is in your area. Just go to SeatGeek.com, use promo code BNC at checkout, and you will get $28 off your next purchase. Also, I've been a firm advocate for course careers. That's personally how I started my full-time job here in 2024. I went through their online program. I got a certificate in one of their courses. After graduating, I had an optimized resume and LinkedIn portfolio, and people reached out to me because they saw that I was certified, and they hired me right on the spot. So if you guys are looking to transition careers, if you're feeling like you're stuck and you don't want to go to college, I mean, check out Course Careers. It starts with a free introduction course. You can figure out which career path is best for you. And in the upcoming weeks, they're going to be coming out with trade courses. So if you want to be an electrician, if you want to get an HVAC, whatever it is, they're going to be coming out with some new courses there as well. But I truly appreciate you guys. Hit like, subscribe, and go Bills.